okay, do we really need a cold opening for this one? I mean, the title is A Cold Day in Hell. I mean, how could we possibly top that?
Oh, John, I'm sure we will when hell freezes over.
Shit, that's a good one.
Indeed.
Welcome, listeners, to the final review in Graboid-tober. It is Tremors: A Cold Day in Hell. But to save on time, we'll just call it Tremors 6, or just a cold or a Cold Day in Hell, whichever floats your boat. And honestly, for me, I like this one a lot more than 5. Mostly from a film production standpoint. Ian?
I'm pulling this up here. I like it due to how different it is. I mean, in all the other films, we were like in hot, dry environments, whether that's Nevada or South Africa. This one really changes the game.
Yeah, by having it set in the Arctic Circle. So ice graboids.
Yeah.
And so now, while I do like 6, just from a production standpoint, because I think they really kind of amped up their filmmaking in this one, their prowess in this one. 5 kind of is just a little bit superior as a story.
I have to agree, yeah.
And 5 actually had some new ideas. 6 doesn't really have much. It's kind of like almost like a soft remake of the first movie.
It is, yeah.
But we'll get to that later. The premise is that Bert and Travis are called on by an Arctic research team because of a possible graboid attack. Turns out, yes, there are graboids in the Arctic, and Bert, being the paranoid conspiracist that he is, believes that these graboids are being weaponized. So if you've seen the Tremors series on Sci-Fi Channel, there was actually an episode where they actually did weaponize shriekers. Kind of like give these shock collars to obey commands. If you haven't seen the series, I do kind of recommend going to Amazon and buying it. It's pretty cheap. It's $10. I'm not in any way affiliated with Amazon. It's a series that's kind of hard to come by. But on top of Bert's theory is that it's revealed that he's dying, that he has been poisoned by graboid venom. So now it's a race against the clock to not only survive the graboids, but find a cure for him.
Yeah, and it's really embracing its B-movie roots now.
Yes, it is. Oh, it is. The callbacks and Easter eggs are kind they they've increased the amount of Easter eggs and callbacks in this movie. Cinematography wise, it is overall good, and I guess somewhat of a, and can be somewhat of a mixed bag. Music again doesn't really stand out.
Yeah, I don't remember much from this one.
But overall, it's just an overall fun sequel. It's simply fun. It's like having dessert after a meal.
It is, yeah. Nice bowl of ice cream. Mm-hmm. Pun intended. We're gonna make a lot of cold jokes.
I'm not gonna try. I'm just gonna let it flow naturally.
Yeah. This sequel, for some reason, didn't strike me. Well, it actually did. I do enjoy the change in scenery, and the use of color, I felt, was very good. I especially enjoyed the blue ass blaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of blue in this movie. In fact, even on the IMDb trivia page, it says that there is blue in almost every shot. Mm-hmm. Ian, are you still there?
Yeah. Okay. There's not much on production.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed the color, and did you catch any different colors on the Graboid?
Not. Different how? Like a
bluey color.
Yeah, I did catch that. It was a little bit of a bluish color. Now, the funny thing is, even though it's set in the Arctic Circle, on IMDb, it lists its filming location in South Africa.
What?
Yes.
It's right here in the production notes on Wikipedia. On September 20th, 2016, Michael Gross announced on his official Facebook page that the film was in development. Filming commenced in late January 2017. The crew had originally intended to shoot in the mountains of Bulgaria, but after the country had endured one of its largest blizzards, they opted to return to South Africa, where Tremors 5 Bloodlines was filmed. The opening scene was filmed in the desert, made to look like snow with filters and video processing techniques. Nice weather was explained by climate change causing unusual warmth in the Arctic. So very clever, Universal. Clever.
It's kind of, oh boy, and a lot of the characters are wearing long sleeve shirts and pants, and some of them are even wearing coats.
Yeah, so.
Well, let's see.
Clever.
Actually, you know what? Since it's in South Africa, it's not. It is away from the equator, so it probably wasn't too humid.
Yeah.
And if they were in that region at just at the right time of year, it probably could have been decent weather to wear the outdoor gear.
Yeah.
Although, this does explain some of the establishing shots, like the very first shot at the beginning where it's this drone shot of this snowy barren wasteland. It looks too much like a video game intro.
Yeah.
And even the shot of the plane flying over the mountains. Of course, then when it comes to like the wing POV, then that's when it starts to look very real, and I'm like, oh, okay, good shot though. But yeah, there are some blatantly obvious computer generation, especially when it comes to its establishing shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, graboids, monsters, that's just pretty standard nowadays.
Yeah, standard fare.
Let's see. Alright, so characters, only Travis and Bert, they return from the second one. Bert, Bert, I don't know. I think for Bert, the one issue that I had with this movie is that he seemed to only have one setting, and that was just gung ho. I mean, there was
pretty much, yeah.
I mean, a majority of his dialogue was just was yelling and screaming. And it just overall antagonistic towards everyone. Most of the time. I guess most of the time. I mean, I remembered thinking, calm down, dude, before you burst a blood vessel.
Yeah. And on Wikipedia here, he is the only resident left in the apparently abandoned and demolished Perfection, Nevada. Bert resides in and runs Chang's Market, which appears to be all that's left of the town.
It didn't look all that demolished.
Well, that's just what it says.
Okay.
I didn't see any other buildings, though. Did you, or was I just
No,
blind?
I didn't see any either. Yeah. Chang's Market is the only building that's left in Perfection, and I guess in a way to kind of there is a shot that shows the sign, welcome to Perfection, Nevada population, and you see a 2 on there. So there's only 2 people that live in Perfection, Bert and I'm guessing Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he runs Chang's Market. They do mention Jody, the store owner from the third movie.
But she's off. We never see her.
We don't see her, but she's mentioned that she works at a law firm. I think in Vegas.
Okay.
And the reason why they bring that up, the reason why that's brought up is because a special agent from the IRS, who is called Taxman, delivers a notice to Bert that his property and assets will be seized by the government. I think for failure for paying taxes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I'm having a brain fart from that. I don't know how you lead into that because it's not really that. It's not a plot thread that constantly comes up in the movie.
Yeah, it starts at the beginning, then it reappears at the end, being tied up. It doesn't do much.
I know.
Let's just continue with the characters.
Okay,
then.
yeah.
Next we have Jamie Kennedy, still playing Travis B. Welker. Yeah, he's basically the same. He's a little more experienced in graboids due to the 2015 incident in South Africa, but...
Yeah, and let's see. He meets one of the scientists, Dr. Zims. One of the head scientists. She's one of the head scientists at the research station, and they kind of hit it off at the end. No,
they do. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of nice, but Jamie, Travis actually does get some character development in this movie, especially the scene where he dons Bert's cap and aviators when Bert is now just too sick. He's out of commission, so he now takes the reins. And so it's actually a good moment of growth for him.
Yes, and I think this might be foreshadowing the future of the series, because Michael Gross isn't going to be around forever.
No, he isn't.
And I'm sure he will own the role as Bert Gummer for as long as he can, but sooner or later he's not going to be able to be Bert anymore, so I think eventually they will have Bert die.
Maybe.
And thereby ending the series.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry for bringing down the mood. Next we have, once again, butchering names. Oh my goodness, people. Pick some easier names for me. We have Tanya Von Gran. I think.
Yeah, Tanya Von Gran.
As Dr. Rita Sims, the lead researcher at... Boit?
I think it's pronounced Boit.
Boit Canyon. Boit Canyon Arctic Research Facility. Like we said, she and Travis hit it off.
Yeah.
And we don't know too much about her. We know a little bit, but
yeah,
not too much. She might come back in the next film.
If there is a next film, there's so far there hasn't been any announcements of a 7th one.
Yeah, but this one did just come out.
Yeah. I actually kind of do hope there is a 7th one, because this was pretty good.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see. Yeah, there's not much about Rita Sims. However, this new character played by Jamie Lee Money, or Moni, I don't know how you pronounce that last name, plays Valerie. Of course, this was actually the biggest shock to me when this was revealed. I mean, I actually paused the movie, got up from my couch, and went, "Oh, woo!"
I know, right?
It's she just drops the bomb on us, revealing, like, in the first act, she is Val and Rhonda's daughter from the first movie.
She even has graboid skin boots.
and she even insists on being called Val.
Yeah, I'm like, part of me wonders if this is fan service, but
I think it is fan service.
It's very clever.
It's
though.
also kind of a little bit bittersweet, because Kevin Bacon, when the fifth movie was announced, expressed interest in returning for a Tremors movie. And
oh, so he's back on with being in a movie with worms again.
Yeah, he is. Well, even remember the TV pilot that we talked about, the one that was already filmed but then got passed.
Yeah.
He was gonna be in that one, which is very sad.
Bring him back in the next one, please. Bring him and Rhonda back. I want to see them and Valerie having a family moment, and I want Bert to be there.
Yes.
I want Bert to pick on Val. Do it, Universal. I don't care how much money you have to spend,
or how much you have to, or how much money, how low the budget is. Oh yeah, that's right. When
just bring him
yes.
back.
But yeah, overall, the character. Let's see. Oh, hi, kitty.
Yes, that's Peaches. She's meowing. Continue. I'm gonna see what she wants.
Let's see. The other characters are Hart Hansen. He's a drone addict, so he likes to fly his drone, and also he loves to drink energy drinks. I would probably suggest cutting back, because apparently in this movie he had 8 in one day. Surprised that his heart.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm surprised his heart didn't leap out of his chest. Let's see. There's Ack Clark, who's really he's the local boy. Swaghammer, who's like, I guess the MacGyver of the station.
Pretty much.
Dr. Ferretzi, who's just the sniveling little weasel guy. It's like if you decided to take Shaggy and remove all likability from him.
Pretty much.
And let's see. This one character who's just made me freaking laugh. The bad guy looking actor. I think his name is, I can't remember if his name was actually mentioned, but he might be Mr. Cuts. The guy that wears all black. But the reason why he makes me laugh is just his movements when he speaks. I mean, it's almost like someone who has come out of the closet and is trying to act like they're not gay and doing a horrible job at it. I'm really. I mean, the way he moves. I know it's stereotypical of me to say, but when he moves, I just feel like there should be an "oh my" when he's done speaking. I mean,
maybe someone can dub that in.
I can't. Of course, what also made me laugh is that he's dressed in all black, and he seems to know who Bert is, and also has detailed knowledge that he shouldn't have. So he comes across as the obvious bad guy.
Yeah.
Only it's a bait and switch. He's not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He's he is he's just engineering a way to bring water back to civilization.
Yeah.
All right, so Bert was thinking that he was involved with weaponizing the Graboids. So that plot thread this comes up in the synopsis of the movie.
Yeah, it does, and I felt it's kind of betrayed.
I know. It goes nowhere. No, it goes nowhere. So again, it's just a bait and switch. I think that's most of the characters that the memorable ones is I guess we can't forget about the pilot.
Oh yeah, Mac.
Oh, so that was Mac. All right.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Mac.
All right. Yeah, she was entertaining.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the characters.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing much new to this movie aside from Bert actually being poisoned by graboids, which I thought was actually kind of was a good way to actually bring an event from a previous movie into these new sequels. Because it turns out he got infected with a parasite from being inside the graboid, from the graboid that swallowed him in the third movie.
Yeah, it's kind of clever.
And this is also kind of why I like the production value of this movie, because it uses the old adage of show not don't tell in showing the pain that Bert is going through. I really wish it's kind of hard for me to try to explain it. It's just something that has to be seen. Like you see Bert like in the middle of the frame whenever he has these attacks. So he's like right in the middle of the frame, but you see everything around him is just shaking and jittery, like he's having a seizure. And you see these chromatic rays, this little rainbow hoop, this rainbow ring around him, and you hear just like this high pitched ringing. I mean, God, I love how it was done, and it looks like it was the same technique that was used in Logan when Xavier is having a seizure attack. When he's in the hallway, when Logan is in the hallway.
I haven't seen Logan.
I haven't either, but it's in the trailer. But I think that was the same technique that was used, and that's why I really love the production value of this movie. And yeah, I'm talking a whole lot again.
Well, I don't know what all to say. Let's see. Let's take a look at who all worked on this. During the small break, you said you wanted to talk about Don Paul.
Yes. Don Michael Paul. He directed this movie and Tremors 5. So I actually looked up his credits on IMDb, and he does tend to do a lot of sequels. He directed Kindergarten Cop 2. Lake Placid, The Final Chapter. Which, that actually sounds like a fun movie we could review. You know, a giant crocodile.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Sniper Legacy. Okay, so he hasn't directed any Hollywood blockbusters. Most of it is just made for TV movies. Most of it is sequel. It's apparently even an up and coming movie called The Scorpion King: Book of Souls looks like another direct to video release.
Yeah.
So,
he was also an actor.
Yeah, that I got. His IMDb also lists his acting credits. I don't think I've actually seen any of these shows though.
Yeah, nor have I.
Yeah.
Or any of the ones where he was a screenwriter.
Let's see.
Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Wow.
Beyond Valkyrie, Dawn on the Fourth Reich.
Yeah.
Death Race, Beyond Anarchy.
That's also a recent movie that's coming out. But yeah, he does write and direct some of the he does write some of the movies that he directs. But he didn't write Tremors 5 or 6. Tremors 6 was mostly written by John Welpley, who was also a co-writer on Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Let's see. And let's see. Who did? Let's see. Did the same guy do the music for Tremors 6? That, you know, the same guy for 5. Did he do 6?
Frederick Weidman did work on it, but another man is also credited here. Ryan Mantia.
Oh, okay.
I'm drawing a blank here, but I think this is a typo. It's spelled Brain Mantia.
Oh boy. Woo. Right. Let's see. Brain. It does say. All right. So it was. All right. So So 2 composers for the movie. It does still say Brain Mantia.
Okay, so it's not just Wikipedia.
Yeah. Apparently that's you know, his stage. That's his stage. It's his pen name.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. Let's see. Apparently he was born as Brian Mantia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a pen name for him.
Okay, I was gonna say, I really feel bad for him. He must have had some bad parents.
It depends on how you look at it. You know, Pinky in the Brain.
Yeah, let's see who else. What other topics can we do here quick?
Let's see. I don't know. I guess maybe we can probably move to callbacks.
Oh yeah. Aside from Val.
Aside from Val, there's they do recycle some dialogue. There's and moments. There's from the first movie. I guess the one that comes to mind mostly is if you when Grabber actually grabs Rita Zims from the leg of her pants, and Travis tells her to take off her pants, and she goes no, 100% no. And it's of course a callback to the first movie, but it's kind of turned on its head. In the first movie, it's a fan service moment. In this one, it's inverted, sort of. She won't take off her pants because she's not wearing anything underneath.
She's going commando in the Arctic Circle.
I think she just goes commando in general in life. Cause she responds it's too restrictive.
So yeah, that was subverted.
Mm-hmm. And let's see, and even one of the distractions, Bert utilizes Hart's full bladder from all those energy drinks he drank to pretty much piss a distraction. So it's kind of a crude callback to the first movie of how Rhonda kicked off the downspout from the water tower.
Yeah. That was good. I enjoyed that. That was funny. Yeah. And he gets stage fright. And like, I can't go, you're looking at me. He's face shy.
Let's see, and then the last bit of dialogue comes from Bert. He reuses the line that from when he killed his first Graboid to when they killed this Graboid, is broke into the wrong goddamn hangar, didn't you, you bastard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it was nice. It was nice to hear some of those old moments, and that's kind of why it's kind of hard to take off the nostalgia goggles at first. Because when you have callbacks and Easter eggs to past movies, it brings up all the memories you've had of those movies.
Yeah, and it's good to have those every now and then.
Mm-hmm. And
although I do have a gripe with this movie, there's still no freaking shriekers.
No shriekers. I mean, why? Why no shriekers? I mean, even the third one showed the shriekers.
Yeah, at the beginning, and then we saw the husk.
Yeah.
But it's been so freaking long. I want to see a new. I actually don't even care if they give them a new design. I want to see shriekers.
I know. Where the hell are the shriekers?
I want shriekers.
But yeah. And anyway, last Easter egg that I can recall, it's because it's fairly obvious, is the very end. Is that Travis and Rita? There's a definite romance between them, and just like Val and Rhonda at the end, they're waiting. I mean, she wants him to make the first move. He doesn't, and then someone chews them out for it. To where?
Oh, I think this was this was a bit better than in the first one, in my opinion.
It got,
'Cause-
I know. I think because the writers knew that. Yeah, we're not trying to be, as monumental or as significant as the first one. We just know we're having fun. So let's have some fun with this one.
Yeah, and Bert chewing out of his son and making a whole bunch of references to various types of firearms and penetration. And oh my god.
Jeez.
That was the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was good. It was good, and that's all the Easter eggs that I can and callbacks that I can think of, unless you can kind of count, when they're in that the DARPA agents, they're in that they're in that lake testing the water, and they bring up folic acid. Is off the charge. We didn't actually mention this in the last movie, but that's also brought up from the paleontologists when they uncovered the bones of a graboid. Is that apparently the beak or their saliva contains folic acid, which is helpful for moving through rock or dirt, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good reference, or not really a reference, but a callback. That is no way to treat an HK-91.
Oh yeah, that plot thread actually comes back. Yeah. Because when Travis first reveals it, Bert asks where he gets that, and this is in the 5th movie. We don't get an answer. So in this one, it's revealed it came from Heather. It's like,
which I find interesting.
Yes. I mean,
did he buy it from Heather? Did Heather give it to him?
That is something. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I think maybe. Okay. I just had a thought. We did mention in the last one that the HK-91 seems to have some sentimental value to Bert. So maybe the reason why Heather wanted the HK-91 is probably she didn't want to she wanted to have at least something to remember Bert by.
Yeah.
So if Travis got the HK-91 from Heather, this must be what happened. Travis must have tracked down where Heather lives, revealed to her that he is Bert's son from a one-night stand, and Heather must not have taken that, must not have taken that too well, and so gave Travis the HK-91, thereby symbolically cutting off all ties to Bert.
Oh, maybe. Although, here's something I've noticed. We don't know when Bert and Heather got married.
That's true. So there might.
So it could be that, or it could be simply like giving Travis his inheritance in a way.
That could be that too.
We just need more information.
So yeah. Yeah, the HK-91. It actually comes back. I guess the one thing we can also mention is how this is actually the first time that in a Tremors movie that a live Graboid has been caught.
Oh yeah. And I wouldn't count the one in movie 2.
that was just, it was breaching because it was about to reach the final stage of its first life cycle.
Yeah, so...
No, but this is the first time they actually legitimately caught a live Graboid.
And all that talk in the last film about you can't catch one.
Actually, according to IMDb, the way that the plan to use the Graboid's momentum to actually capture it is sort of a subtle reference to the end of the first movie, how Val used the Graboid's fear of the loud noise to actually propel it off the cliff.
Yeah.
So another subtle reference, there's a lot of references to just the first movie in these two sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a whole lot from the other sequels.
No. What else should we talk about here?
Well, I kind of like to talk about cinematography.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Who did cinematography?
It was...
cinematography was done by Hein de Vos.
Mm-hmm. And, he actually hasn't done a lot of stuff as a cinematographer, but he does work a lot in the camera and electrical department. Apparently, he was a camera, as a camera operator for series like Homeland and Black Sails. Let's see. For this, for Tremors 6, there's a lot of use of low angle shots, and traditionally low angles are actually supposed to make a character larger, it's supposed to convey power, and it's used exactly like that, especially in the scene where Travis takes over the reins when Bird is out of commission. He comes into his own, and there's a feeling of power that he has. However, since this is about a movie about underground creatures, that tradition can kind of be subverted to make them appear vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I like this use of low angles, and it's used pretty well, especially, and even the use of slow-mo shots. There's a lot of slow-mo in this movie, but it doesn't feel overplayed or unnecessary.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Seeing dirt explode from the floor of the ice station, or just all the dirt explosions of the Graboid just chasing after the researchers. It's very well. It's very well done. The editors and as well as all the entire crew that worked on this know when to use slow-mo properly, in my opinion. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I just remembered another callback from the first movie. Remember the two road workers from the first movie?
Yeah.
How does the movie start in this one? Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
That's
yes.
good.
A guy is drilling through the ice. And all of a sudden, it hits something. There's some orange goo comes up, and then all of a sudden, he gets dragged.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's nice, and that's on the subtle end.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah. Whew. Let's see.
Although right when it happened, you know what's gonna happen.
Yes. Yeah. And okay, and I guess that also to try to bring that back to cinematography. I like the shot of the third victim in the prologue. Of when the Graboid just breaches up and is heading towards him, you see its mouth in the reflection of his glasses.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's something new for this series. And I guess I think that's all that I can talk about maybe the cinematography. I guess the other thing that's all I can talk about cinematography. Sorry, I'm rambling. My thoughts are going a mile a minute. Yeah, that's it. I guess the next thing, I don't know. Ian, what's the next thing you would like to talk about?
You want to do favorite moment?
Sure. How about you start out? Because again, I'm talking too much.
Well, one of my favorite moments was actually when we were in the plane and we engaged in an aerial dogfight with an ass blaster.
Oh.
That was good. I did enjoy finally seeing a good view of an ass blaster in daylight flying. Mm-hmm. Especially this new version of ass blasters.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I don't know if that is my favorite sequence, but I like the moment when the pilot or when Bert and Travis just say at the same time, "Ass blaster." Let's see. Was there another one that you had?
Yeah, where I forget what his name was or is, but you know the guy who was hiding under the radio tower.
Oh, Feretzi.
And Bert's like, "Yeah, come on!" And then Bert had an episode, and he's just mimicking everything he does.
Oh yeah.
And Travis is like, "What are they doing?"
I guess I would kind of also like to add to that it was funny how Bert motivates him. It was by saying my balls are in the Guinness Book of Balls.
I have balls of steel. I have balls of stainless steel.
Honestly, when Feretzi ducked under the tower and that ass blaster was, breaking the dishes and the equipment, I honestly thought, this whole bioweapon thing is actually starting to sound pretty plausible, because I was actually thinking that Feretzi was Ferezzi was like a traitor, like a spy, was actually working for DARPA. And him ducking under the tower was just, you know, a ploy. But nope. Nope.
That plot thread did not. I'm still a little bent out of shape about that.
I know.
I would have liked to see that actually happen and then have it completely backfire on the DARPA agents.
Well, there's always the series.
Yeah.
Let's see. My favorite moments. It's actually hard for me, but I guess it would have to be where. I guess it would have to be when they're in the hangar and they're making a whole bunch of noise, and that, you know, that electric guitar music is playing, and it ends with the graboid exploding when it gets electrocuted.
Yeah.
And
although another one of my favorite moments, when Travis has to climb in its mouth.
Yeah. And oh yeah, I guess I should also mention that I was actually surprised to see them actually use an animatronic graboid.
Yeah, we haven't seen those in forever.
Not since the 4th movie.
Yeah, and even then it was fleeting.
But oh my god, that wasn't a computer-generated graboid head in that tanker. It was a puppet.
Oh, that was so good. It looks so good.
Yeah, and that's the other thing why I like about this movie is there's a lot of practical effects.
Oh yeah.
Like the graboid tunneling under the ground it's not the airbag or the buoy as it was used in the first movie. Actually, it was a buoy that.
Oh, what was it in this one?
It looked like I think it was just a set of underground charges that would go off in sequence and kick up dirt.
Oh.
I don't know. It looked like the same kind of thing that was used in the first Transformers movie, you know, with that scorpion-looking Transformer.
Ah, okay. Luckily, Michael Bay didn't take over this film.
Oh god, it wouldn't. Oh boy, it probably would have been so much worse.
But yeah, now that you mention that, yeah, I do appreciate that. I really love how animatronics seem to be making a comeback.
Yeah, computers are great, and so are animatronics. But I guess it's the best of both worlds that we kind of respond to.
Yeah. I mean, for me, if it can be done with an animatronic, do it with an animatronic.
Let's see, what else can we talk about?
Well, I can pull up the reception here and the critical response, if you want to review that.
You mean review other people's opinions of it, or?
Well, there's a little something here on Wikipedia about the critical response.
Okay.
I thought we'd just respond to this. Tim Jansen of the Sci-Fi Movie page gave the film 2 stars out of 5. saying, while none of the Tremors sequels, nor the one prequel, has ever been able to hold a candle to the original, A Cold Day in Hell is definitely one to miss. This sleep-inducing bore fest cannot even be saved by Vert's over-the-top arrogance and crankiness. I can see where he's coming from, but I wouldn't say miss A Cold Day in Hell.
I wouldn't say that either. I would definitely watch it again just to see the practical effects and just the top-notch use of filmmaking knowledge that was used in this. It wasn't boring to me.
No, it was pretty good.
While I do agree that some of the sequels and the one prequel, I just agree with that first part that most of the sequels and the one prequel haven't been able to hold a candle to the original.
Yeah, the original's the best.
Oh
by
yeah,
far.
if there was no Tremors 1, there would be no Tremors series. There'd be no franchise.
Exactly.
It's almost unfair to make that comparison.
It is, yeah. Generally speaking, the first film is generally the best. There can be a bit of a little bit of, say, debate and discussion with How to Train Your Dragon and Jurassic Park. And Star Wars, actually.
Yes.
But with Tremors, I can sort of see where he's coming from, but I also think it's unfair.
It is unfair.
Like you said.
Because we do have to remember that Tremors as a whole is a love letter to B movies.
Yes, it is the American B movie of the late 20th and early 21st century.
And I think you said it best. A Cold Day in Hell actually fully embraces its B-movie roots.
Yeah, especially these last two with both Bloodlines and A Cold Day really seem to be self-aware of what they are. They know, the film itself knows that it is a B movie, so they decide to just embrace that and go all out.
Yeah, and it's kind of important to know what you want your movie to be, and so because that kind of either adds or reduces some stress so that you can have some fun.
Yeah.
And looking at this movie, I can kind of tell that there was some fun that was had on the set.
Oh yeah, imagine all the fun that was being had while Travis was climbing into the animatronic. Imagine during the rehearsal.
It might not have been fun for Jamie Kennedy, but it was probably fun for everyone else.
Oh yeah, that was great. I enjoyed that. I would have loved to be on set. I feel like a lot of snide jokes were made.
Yes. Well, what else can we talk about?
I do not know. You want to just go into ranking?
I guess so, yeah. I guess I would put Tremors: A Cold Day in Hell probably in the same rank as its predecessor Bloodlines, about a 7 to 7.5 out of 10. It knows what it wants to be, and it has a lot of fun doing it, and I gotta give praise to the cast and crew for their effort.
Indeed, yeah, and I mean, I gotta put it at a 7 as well, because with a franchise like Tremors, there's a lot you can do with it. You can go all out, and the movie does go all out, especially with these later entries. I mean, just in these past 2 movies, we have a new design for the creatures, new abilities, and it just knows how to be a B-movie. And in my opinion, a film that knows what it wants to be can easily do it.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, there are some exceptions to that rule. But I mean, Tremors, to me, seems like the American B-movie. I mean, yeah, other countries have theirs, like Japan has Godzilla, and we have ours. And I think ours, your generation, John, and mine, ours is Tremors.
Yeah. And I agree wholeheartedly. All right. So I guess with that we now conclude Graboid-tober. If you like this video, please do hit that like button and subscribe to both of our channels for new content. And we will see you next month.